StarTale, Hack.
Whoa, 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 new voice. A little bit slow here, a bit over-eager. Street Fighter voice knew exactly what kind of timings to use. I feel the new guy needs to be put in his place.
He's got to work out some kinks for sure.
Yeah, that was... Okay, to the top right, we'll do this again. In red, we have the Terran player for StarTale. It is... No.
Oh, well.
AZUBU.
Oh, wow. We need to have a talk later on. We need to have a talk.
There's Hack again, but now... Going back.
Okay, no, wait a second. We'll try this again. I'm sure production is up for that. All right, guys. Top right of the map. Can we have him again? We have to do this right.
Well, I don't know if we have to, but here we go. All right, here's Hack, and his opponent to the bottom right is Supernova. I fixed everything.
Oh, there we go. No.
All right.
They're trolling me right now.
They are. Gas first coming up for Supernova, as it turns out.
Okay, production gave up. Here we have the scoreboard.
Yes, there's the scoreboard. Now it's 100% clear who is who.
Yeah, but we definitely have to have a talk with the new voice. I feel that this guy is pretty full of himself.
Yeah, maybe so.
You know, Street Fighter voice knew his place, but he's getting a little bit sassy.
I think we have to call the new voice Ken, man. I think that's how it has
I don't want to call it Ken. We need to come up with something different.
Well, Supernova was the one who got gas firsted last game, but this time he's going to be putting on the aggression early. And Hack so far looks like he wants to go for a regular 1-Rax expand.
Yeah, it looks pretty much like that. And Hack is also one of those... Well, to be honest, I was just trying to say that Hack is one of those guys that really relies on the late game. But if you're honest, he's also... He showed us a lot of really aggressive styles in the past, in the recent games that we've seen of him.
Yeah.
He was very, very passive. And this kind of was his downfall against Zerg. We just saw his games in Code A, and he had a big problem against his
opponent. What was ironic is against Stefano, he played a more aggressive style as well, but it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
He's really struggling right now in Wings of Liberty.
He mentioned in an interview that practicing against Live really did a number on him, that he's so afraid of Zerg these days, especially of counterattacks, that he has a bit of a problem being aggressive in the matchup. So I feel the new game brings a lot of fresh air into the whole... Yeah, no, all the matchups. Not only the TVZ that we saw him play in Wings of Liberty, but of course also into the TBT here.
Yep.
So I really like that Hack is going to go for the late game.
And Supernova is such an aggressive Terran player. He loves in TBT to put the aggression on. We saw him go Cloak Banshees last game. He even walked across the map with his Marines to try to make a bunker in Aphrodite's base after seeing the late production with the reactor going down. So he is the aggressive guy. And what is he going to do? He shows a second gas. Scout comes in. Then he cancels it. So he's tricking his opponent here a little bit, faking him out, making him think maybe there's going to be Cloak Banshees. Perhaps it's going to be a Hellbat drop, but he doesn't know. No Widow Mines, just Hellions coming out of that factory.
Yeah, with the Widow Mines, of course, you have such a unique and good tool to defend against whatever there is. And Widow Mines are one of the main parts that we have in most Terran player strategies these days. Mass Widow Mines, even against Protoss that are just accompanied by a couple of tanks, for example, this is so strong. It's scary, actually. If you see all those mines walking towards you, you're like, oh my god, I would get out of here.
Yeah, you got to get away from that. And it's so difficult to approach them because if your opponent scans and kills your observer with the Widow Mine, then what are you going to do? Great scan here by Hack, giving him all the information he needs to know. He now knows it's going to be a Hellion drop, and a plain one at that. Doesn't look like it's going to be Hellbat. It's just regular Hellions, so he needs to just prepare himself.
Here comes the second base also for Supernova, currently building his gas as well as the command center. And now with the new Vin Diesel booster upgrade, the need of Speed Medivac is making his way up to the top right.
Yep, coming across really fast. And here comes that pickup.
Yeah. Going for the North Afterburners pretty soon once again, and here we go. Bam!
Ready in the main, but does he have enough? He's pretty split here. I think he'll be able to push this back. He needs to react immediately, and he does. Pulling those Marines away. Nice micro here.
Yeah, really well done also, of course, by Supernova, taking a few of the Marines down and then realizing that it's better for him to just hightail it out of there just for now. Still keeping the pressure up with the Medivac, though.
Yep, continues to drop because he knows that his opponent will never be able to catch and kill his Medivac, so he can just keep picking up, dropping down, killing a Marine, and then doing it again. He now goes for the mineral line with that boost upgrade. Great choice here.
These boost upgrades, this is so scary. These things are so fast these days, and you just can fly over your opponent's defense. This is one of the reasons why Gumiho said in the earlier interview that he really, really loves the new upgrade for the Medivacs. He is one of those players that will drop a lot at 3-5 positions at once, and this is exactly what he tries tries to do in Heart of the Swarm now, with the added danger of the medivacs being even faster.
Look at him just picking off Marines because he knows he can get away with that upgrade. He's being as risky as possible with this. In Wings of Liberty, you would never see a drop play quite so aggressive like this.
Yeah. He's bouncing between the bases. He knows that he can get away with it. And, you know, you're making such a good point. In Wings of Liberty, usually you start a drop, and if the drop doesn't work, then you just have to head back. There's no way for you to get in again. But this is very, very different. But
look at that! Oh my god, he gets away! That medivac with 5 hit points left, he drops out again! And he knew he was probably going to get caught, so he decided to drop the Hellions out, maximizing the damage.
Yeah, but that was really, really well done. But you can already see the difference. This is just so much more aggressive than what we would have seen in Wings of Liberty in the same situation. And now suddenly we have Supernova with those Widow Mines.
Yeah, and they're coming across the map here. He wants to try to set up a little bit of a soft contain. He has a Banshee coming with this as well, so if he baits these units into the Widow Mines, the damage output could be devastating. And in fact, Hack is going to walk right into a trap. Here we go.
No. Oh
it's
my God.
activated.
Oh God. Bam, in your face.
And
those
Banshee.
Marines weren't happy.
The Banshee is now going to have a field day with these units that are weakened without combat shields.
Look how aggressive Supernova is. First of all, those drops. Then suddenly we have the Banshee in there. And the Widow Mine too. The scan doesn't do him any good at all.
Yeah, and Keldor, when you have to use your scans on Widow Mines, then you can't scan for the Banshee. You use your scans on the Banshee, you can't use them for the Widow Mines. You have to make sure you use your scans really efficiently now in Heart of the Swarm.
The engineering bay isn't even up. This is so bad for Hack at this point. He really needs another scan, but Banshee number 2 already on the way. And we still have this bunker. We have also a lot of, well, Hellions, but to be honest...
This is going to be an aggressive attack. He could stem and run up here.
And
he needs to micro his Hellions against these Marines.
This is actually a lot of damage output here for Hack. He could do a lot of damage here, and he will.
He certainly will. That Widow Mine in the main base is so critical right now. He needs to use this very positionally on those Marines. He needs to lift that CC as well. He can't actually protect that, I feel.
He has the second Widow Mine, which is really important for him. Here comes the Banshee again to the top right. The Hellions trying to bait them up onto the main base. But here comes Banshee number 2. Harvester's killed so far for Supernova 17.
And it looks like he will defend here. The Banshee's still going strong at the natural. Hack is almost at checkmate at this point. There's just not a whole lot he can do. The Armory finishes up, which means if he goes for another attack, he can defend with Hellbats instead of Hellions.
The worker supply is really bad for Hack. He's down to 34 against 47. Supernova with his 2-base economy is in a brilliant spot. But the one thing that we have for Hack, can we have a quick look in the main base? For a second I actually thought he had a third command center that magically disappeared out of nowhere, but no. He's on 2 bases as well, 2 orbitals for both players. Hack definitely behind it in this game.
Yeah, he needs to really draw out a miracle somehow to be able to come back in here. I mean, given his position, he can recover if he gets a lucky drop, but with the composition that we're seeing from Supernova, with all the Widow Mines he's got laid around his base, it's going to be really difficult to make a medevac drop actually succeed. He's going into mech plays, adding 2 tanks at a time, which no siege mode research required in Heart of the Swarm. They already have it ready. He's getting so many Hellions out, which can become at any moment Hellbats.
Yep. And Hellbats, we've seen Hellbats being dropped into Mineral Alliance.
Oh.
They are devastating. And again, he completely forgot that there was a Widow Mine, and look how much damage it did.
He's got to scan and take that out.
The range of the Widow Mines is also crazy.
It is. It's quite large, and that's why he stims and runs that 1 Marine forward, because he wants to find out if there's any more he can just activate to waste them.
Yeah, the well Marine at least found a few Hellions.
Yeah. He's able to heal all these Marines back up to full health, but it costs a lot of medevac energy. And look at Supernova's control here. He just fights here, forces another stim.
Supernova knows that he is far ahead, and he's already building his air army here. Very, very air-dominant composition that he has. We have 1 Banshee, we have the Raven with the Point Defense Drone, and of course also all those Vikings now.
Yeah, Viking is going to help out. Oh, wow, he sneaks in here. He could become, he could transform here. You know, he obviously loses his mobility, but he's going to do it.
And
nice.
The Marauder, he has to kite now. He has to make good use of his superior range. He's got to get away from
those with the SCVs as well.
Yeah, actually well played with the upgrade that he has, concussive shells, and he's doing a really good job.
Oh, look at these Hellbats ready to tank for the siege tanks. This is so awesome. Look at that.
Oh my
Tanks
god.
the damage, even point defense drone going down. There's no way Hack can break through. The Banshee will clean it up.
The damage of the Hellbats is brutal. You have to kite. They have only 3 range, so you need to use your superior range and mobility to always kite them. This is so important. And he couldn't really do that. They were blocking. They were also recovering for the siege tap, which you pointed out, Wolf. A lot of damage potential here for Supernova. He uses it brilliantly against this attack.
It was a really nice defense. I mean, he knows exactly how to use these new units. He's clearly had a lot of practice. A Hellbat drop! Both of them getting in here. A nice SCV pull though, but he still takes out so many harvesters.
Yeah, he takes out quite a lot, and he denies the mining here.
Yeah, those SCVs actually have to stay out a little bit longer.
He can actually be quite happy that at least the medivac died. Even the Vin Diesel thrusters couldn't have saved him.
That's very true. This air army gets even stronger for Supernova, but he has a great ground army to defend it. He's even moving over to take his third, adding more Hellbats in, actually rallying them out in Hellbat mode instead of Hellions. Probably going to switch that up. There he goes.
Here comes, yeah, the upgrades. I really love these new tabs.
Yep.
I like them quite a lot. They have a quick overview over the upgrades. You know, one of the things that I'm quite happy that Hellbats can't use is that they don't have stim.
It's true.
Think about that.
I don't want to think about that.
If they go from Hellion mode into Hellbat mode, they lose upgrades like Blue Flame, but they don't gain the bio upgrades like Stim, and that is actually really important.
It is. Will he use an auto turret to save him? Nope. Just got a Hellion sent over there.
That poor Marine.
The poor Marine. Even his shield got melted.
Yeah. Combat shields melt down.
Yeah, I don't know how that works exactly, but that's what happened.
Well, I can see that with the Blue Flame happening, you know, they are just extra hot, but with the normal one, I don't know.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Here comes that, you know, here comes the drop, and we talked about the speed upgrade, and you know, even against the turrets, it's so good.
And he gets in just before it's right. There's a Widow Mine, though.
There's one Widow Mine, but the Widow Mine is only killing one of the medivacs, and only after all the cargo was already
Yeah,
dropped.
the tanks coming out here are helping out quite a bit, though. He's sending some Hellions back with a lot of damage done to the production here. And this is really difficult to remake when you're trying to mech. So this is a great drop for Hackett. He will, if he boosts correctly, be able to escape out the back. Nope, the Vikings chasing him down.
The Vikings are there, and we have also the siege tanks now on the low ground. So he actually lands the Vikings and goes for it. Takes down the last few remaining mortars, and still a 30 supply advantage here for Supernova.
He drops an auto turret to try to help against another counterattack over here, but it does not work. There's still SCVs being taken out, and Hack is trying to whittle his way back into this game. I have to say he's doing a decent job of it.
I really like the run bys. The big problem for Hack, of course, is that he is down a base.
Yeah,
we have 3 bases against 2, and in the long run, Hack will not be able to compete with this.
Exactly. He's starting to run a little bit low on the resources. This is something that Supernova is constantly able to use. You can see he's banking up a few of them right now because he had to remake all of his add-ons. Once the add-ons are done, he should be able to get those units out. Hellbat's ready with turret support. Unfortunately for Hack, this one is not going to be successful.
Yeah, not at all. And you know, one of the big problems that you have is also the Widow Mine on the ground. If you go in with the medivac, the Widow Mine doesn't take out the medivac, but it damages the medivac so much
that it
that
goes down to like 10 hit points.
Exactly. Another Viking shot, for example, will immediately take out the medivac. This is why Widow Mine and Viking is such a common defense against drops these days.
Absolutely, and notice that this air composition is not for a Banshee transition, it's just so you can help defend against drops. When medivacs are that fast, you want to have these Vikings out to give you space control, vision for your siege tanks, yes, but it's going to be very useful against the drops. That's why we see so many turrets in Heart of the Swarm. Notice how many more turrets we're seeing right now than we see in Wings of Liberty. Those drops are so fast, it's really quite critical to have them, as well as the center towers. Supernova can see everything right now from both sides.
Scouting has become even more important than it was in Wings of Liberty. You have so many new options of scouting and also of detection. One of the big reasons why Blizzard tried to add another mode of detection to Protoss, for example, that does not rely on robotics. So now you have different options and different paths to take in certain matchups. All these things that Blizzard did here, trying to open up new possibilities for the players to evolve and to find their own individual style of playing.
Yeah. There's one incomplete turret in the main base. Don't freak out when you see it on the production tab. I'm always the guy who finds stuff on the production tab that's not moving. I'm like, what is that? What's going on? Somebody's not making the turret. All right, this base just finally landed. He didn't even get to complete one mining cycle, and that's already having to lift. He drops into the main base using that speed boost. 4 Hellions in the main. He can transform them.
This looks like checkmate. All the pieces in position for Supernova. He has the position at the third. The drop in the main base. Here comes Hack trying to defend, trying his best, but he's down 60 supply already. He's losing everything here, trying to at least push the units back, but in the main base, a devastating drop.
The healing on those Hellbats just makes quite the difference in how you can fight bio versus mech. You know, when you're fighting Hellions, they don't get healed, so Marauders can take them out pretty quickly, but these have more hit points. They've got the healing on the medevacs. They just do an insane amount of damage. Watch this. He's got a siege tank at the back to add the extra damage, and the Hellbats can just finish everything else off.
Look at that. The Hellbats are just insane. And these guys, they are so good against buildings too. Just look at the main base of Hack. He's losing so much back here. and Hack is just falling behind in supply now, and of course also in income. 4 bases by now for Supernova. He established himself a 4th, and for Hack we have just now the 3rd base, but also in Harvesters he's just so far behind.
One thing I want to note, and this is a common misconception about Hellbats, is that they are considered armored. They're not. So they're still light units, which means that the Marauders, when you fight against them, don't get bonus damage like they would against the Siege Tank, for example. That's part of the reason why it's so hard to actually kill them with Bio.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure though that we will see a few changes to the Hellbats. Blizzard already showed that they wanted to change something about the Hellbat drops when they increased the cargo size from 2 to 4 to make sure that these drops are not this devastating anymore. But I'm pretty sure that we will see further changes to the unit.
I like the Hellbat portrait, man. It looks like Luke Skywalker is using his targeting computer a little bit here when I'm looking at that, but look, I mean, Supernova has him so contained and he's so aggressive on the map with his composition that it's very difficult for Hack to find an opening. He's going to drop here, but this is a planetary.
Yeah, but look at those. They just run in. They don't care about the turret at all.
This is smart to go into the main like this.
And you know, this is one of the things that I'm still wondering about. Are missile turrets in the main base really worth it anymore?
Yeah, that's the question, because it certainly doesn't seem like they're very helpful against drop play. Another thing to consider is maybe it's better to keep the Hellbats in Hellion mode to be more mobile and then switch them once the combat begins, because you can see with this composition, the more mobility definitely still goes to the player who's going for Bio, not Mech.
It's also an issue when you drop. Well, this attack for now from Hack is being thwarted, but it's also an issue, I wanted to come back to this, to the cargo size. If you have a normal Hellion, it still has a cargo size of 2, so you can put 4 into a Medivac. You just afterburn into your opponent's base and then drop the Hellions and then morph them into Hellbats. You can still do that. It's still not as scary as it was before because of the initial damage that will be dealt to the worker line, but it's an option that you have.
Notice how useful those Widow Mines are at zoning. 2 units come in there, 2 Medivacs, drops them out, the Widow Mines blow up some units, force them to go back, just supporting those siege tanks a little bit.
The problem that you have with Widow Mine defense is, of course, that they take up supply. So you never want to go for too many of them, then you have the supply stuck in here unless you incorporate them into a composition. We talked a little bit about Widow Mines in composition with tanks, a lot of Widow Mines. Even mass Widow Mine is a valid strategy these days.
It actually is. I mean, there's different ways you can hide them. If you can hide maybe 10 Widow Mines and then set up a trap, that could be absolutely crazy.
You know, it sounds a little bit silly, but if you have the factories and the reactors and you just go for a massive amount of Widow Mines, you can send Widow Mines to 3 different locations at the base and you just run into your opponent's army.
If you get 2 Widow Mines in someone's mineral line and you kill some of the workers and they don't notice that a Widow Mine was what killed it, and oh man, when they send the workers back, the second Widow Mine blows up, it just gets
so much potential. And look at this now. We have the Hellbats at the front, and here come those siege tanks. This is just Supernova trying to finally claim victory in this game, pushing his way forward into the natural of Hack. Here we go. The AZUBU Terran player is on the move, trying to claim victory, trying to get control over the ramp.
What I feel like we're watching in this game is new Bio with the faster Medivacs versus new Mech with Hellbats. And it's one of our classic exchanges, Bio versus Mech in TVT, but this is Heart of the Swarm style, and Supernova seems to have a little bit more experience here with his style. He's dominating this game.
Yeah, he's really dominating it at this point. We have Hack trying to defend over and over again, even going for counterattacks, but it's just not enough. He's down 100 supply now, another base for Supernova being built, and this is game GG. Supernova with his 2nd TVT victory, defeating Aphrodite and taking out Hack 2.
This means that there are 2 lives left for the StarTale team. Supernova's hair got a little bit messed up by his headset, but that's alright. It happens to all of us. Happened to me this morning.
Doesn't happen to me.
I guess it doesn't happen to you. Calder's hair is very unaffected by the headset, but
my hair is always perfect.
Yeah, it actually is. It looks really good today too. Looking at it right now.
Thank you. Spent a lot of time in the bathroom today.
I know, but it's a big day. It's the first day Heart of the Swarm gets played in GSTL.
Yeah, you want to look good.
Exactly.
That's also why we got new suits.
Certainly. Well, who's it going to be? StarTale. I bet it's going to be Bomber, man. Look at it.
Another TVT?
Yeah, really I think so, man. I just looking at the way Bomber looks on the bench, he looks like he's ready to come out.
But did you see that Life is now sitting at the edge too? He's sitting at the bottom left.
It's very true. Could be.
He switched with the coach, so it could actually be Life. Usually it's, I mean, you can cheat a little bit. Usually you have to the player that plays next sitting at the outsides of the bench, so glancing over. No, okay, it's not going to be Live. I'm not quite sure if you saw that on camera, but apparently Live isn't playing. Then it might be Moma.
What if he is playing? He's just teasing you.
Live.
Yeah. What if he's teasing you, man?
The guy is way too lazy to tease me.
I guess
Life is the funny thing about Life is, first of all, he's always tired. Doesn't matter who he plays, he's always tired. He doesn't get nervous for some reason. I think he probably has a lack of sleep just in general, which is why he doesn't get nervous. He's always like, oh god, I want to get this over. I want to get home and sleep, and he never teases. Life is the worst guy. If you are a reporter and you want to interview someone and you think, this kid is so good, I have to have this epic interview with him. Worst mistake you ever made. If you interview Live, the one thing that's going to happen is his answers will always be shorter than your questions.
Probably so, yeah. The same is true of Genius, in fact.
I've been there. I've been there, believe me. I tried everything.
On, off the record, I remember trying to ask Genius questions, and he just responded with yes or no answers the whole time, and I was like, oh, come on, Genius. You're actually really funny, usually with the Koreans. Why don't you like me?
You know, if you throw a one-word question at Live, maybe like, Heart of the Swarm? Like, do you like it? He will just start laughing.
I didn't get to see whose face that was, in fact. So I was listening to your joke. I don't know who that is.
I actually didn't see the face either. It's Tree. Alright, thank you, production, for having our backs here.
Tree, former FXO player, coming in here, and he's been in the background for quite some time. This is one of those players I was talking about. And I really feel like this type of player is oh, this is Treem, not Tree. I was like, Tree, that's a little bit different, but no, okay, so Extreme.
Yeah, I was already a little bit wondering because Tree is not really part of StarTale, and I'm like, production? I don't know. You guys, first of all, we have the new voice kind of troll us. Now it's the production too. I was like, when did Tree join?
Yeah, no, I was like, I didn't get this update, and Tree's been in the background.
Okay, so it's Stream, a former Zenex player, was known as Zenex Stream. Now he's of course in StarTale. But guys, before we have the next game, we have a short break, and after the 5-minute break, we are back with our 4th match here at the GSTL Pre-Season tournament.